Within every corner of our vast world lie stories waiting to be discovered, tales of individuals who, despite facing adversities that could dim the brightest of lights, continue to shine. Yet, why is it that some of the most inspiring stories remain just beyond our grasp, unheard and unnoticed? It is as if there exists a veil, thin yet dense, separating the world from the richness of these narratives. It begs the question, what are we missing in the silence between words spoken and stories shared? Consider for a moment the sheer magnitude of potential lying dormant in the shadows of our collective attention. Stories of triumph over tragedy, of battles fought in silence, of victories unseen but profoundly felt. These narratives do not shout for attention, but instead whisper truths into the heart of the willing listener. It is here, in the quiet persistence of the unseen, that we find the essence of true inspiration. Yet, the beauty of these unheard voices is not just in their solitary tales, but in the collective tapestry they weave. Each story a thread in the larger narrative of our human experience, enriching the whole with shades of courage, perseverance, and hope. But to truly appreciate the depth and diversity of this tapestry, we must first learn to listen, to turn our gaze towards the places where silence speaks volumes, where stories unfold in the soft light of recognition. So I pose to you, dear listeners, a challenge. Seek out the stories that have yet to be told, the voices that have yet to be heard. Make it your mission to discover the beauty in the overlooked, to find inspiration in the everyday, and to share these tales with the world. For in doing so, we not only honor the spirit of those who have walked paths of resilience, but also ignite a flame of inspiration within ourselves and others. As we embark on this journey together, let us remember that every story matters, every voice deserves to be heard. For it is in the sharing of our stories that we find strength, unity, and the undeniable proof that within each of us lies an infinite well of potential waiting to be unleashed. So let us listen, let us share, and let us be inspired by the power of unheard voices, for in their echoes, we may just find the keys to unlocking our own stories of hope and transformation. Section, the stories we overlook. Think about it. How often do we pass by the same faces every day, unaware of the sagas etched into the lines of their expressions? Consider the individual who serves you coffee with a smile, the neighbor who waves from across the street, the colleague who always seems to have everything together. Hidden within them are stories of immense courage, tales of quiet resilience that, if shared, could light up the darkest of nights. These are the stories we overlook not because they lack significance, but perhaps because we've yet to tune our ears to the frequency of their truth. It's a reflection of our society, where the volume of a story's delivery often determines its visibility. But should the magnitude of a voice dictate the value of its message? In a world increasingly driven by the pursuit of the sensational, it's the understated narratives that often hold the deepest insights into the human spirit. These overlooked stories are the ones that remind us of our shared humanity, of the strength that comes from overcoming, the grace and persistence, and the beauty of transforming pain into power. Let's delve into the essence of what makes a story overlooked. Is it the lack of a platform, the absence of a listener, or perhaps the fear of being misunderstood? The barriers are as varied as the stories themselves, each creating a silence that begs to be broken. It's in the breaking of this silence that we uncover the gems of human resilience and determination. Each overlooked story is a beacon of potential, calling out for recognition, for a moment in the spotlight to inspire, to teach, and to connect. But how do we begin to dismantle these barriers, to shift our gaze towards the stories that have yet to be told? It starts with a single step, a decision to listen more deeply, to look beyond the surface and recognize the universality of struggle and triumph. It's about creating spaces where all stories have a place to be heard, where the quiet voices are amplified and the tales of the ordinary are celebrated for their extraordinary impact. Imagine the richness we could add to our own lives by embracing the stories around us. Picture the connections we could forge, the lessons we could learn, and the inspiration we could draw from simply paying attention to the narratives unfolding in the background of our daily lives. This is the call to action, a challenge to each of us to become collectors of stories, to seek out the tales that are hidden in plain sight, and to share them with the world. In doing so, we not only elevate the voices that have been overlooked, but we also enrich our collective tapestry with threads of diversity, resilience, and hope. We create a culture that values every story, that sees the extraordinary in the ordinary, and recognizes that within the most unassuming narratives lie the most profound truths about what it means to be human. As we journey forth, let us carry with us the understanding that our quest for inspiration need not take us to far-off lands or into the pages of history books. It is right here among us, in the stories we overlook, waiting to be discovered and shared. Let this realization guide us as we explore the strength that lies in silence, the power of those who tread softly but carry within them the light of indomitable spirits. Let us move forward with ears open and hearts ready to receive the symphony of stories that surround us. For in their melodies, we may just find the inspiration we've been searching for all along. Section 2. The strength in silence. As we continue to navigate the vast landscape of human experiences and the stories that shape our existence, we find ourselves drawn to a powerful, often overlooked phenomenon. The strength in silence. In a world that equates loudness with influence and visibility with value, the quietest voices among us carry a profound strength, a resilience that speaks volumes without uttering a single word. But what is it about silence that holds such power? How can the absence of sound resonate so deeply within the chambers of our hearts and minds? Silence, in its essence, is not merely the absence of noise. It's a presence, a force that envelops us, offering solace and reflection in the tumult of our lives. It's within the silence that many find the strength to persevere, to carry on against the odds without the need for recognition or applause. These silent warriors walk among us, embodying the true essence of resilience and determination. Their stories, though unspoken, are etched into the fabric of their being, visible to those who take the time to look beyond the surface. Consider the caregiver who spends their days and nights tending to a loved one with unwavering dedication, their sacrifices whispered only to the moon. Think of the single parent who quietly navigates the challenges of raising children alone, their strength silent but steadfast. Reflect on the individuals who face discrimination and adversity, choosing to rise above with dignity, their resilience a silent testament to their courage. These are the embodiments of silent strength, the unsung heroes whose tales are not shouted from the rooftops but are no less inspiring. This strength in silence is a reminder that true power does not always roar. Sometimes it's the quietest voices that carry the most weight, the ones that can change the course of history without a single word. It's a lesson in the potency of actions over words, of the impact of presence over proclamation. In their silence, these individuals teach us about the depth of human spirit, about the capacity to endure and flourish in the face of adversity. But how do we recognize and honor this silent strength in a society that often overlooks it? The answer lies in shifting our perception, in learning to see the beauty and power in the quiet acts of courage that unfold around us every day. It requires us to listen with our hearts, to observe with intention, and to appreciate the multitude of ways strength manifests itself. Let us then make a conscious effort to acknowledge and celebrate the strength in silence. Let us shine a light on those who embody this quiet resilience, sharing their stories and lessons with the world. For in doing so, we not only validate their experiences, but also broaden our understanding of what it means to be strong. We open ourselves up to the myriad expressions of human tenacity, and in the process, we might just discover our own silent strength waiting to be recognized. As we move forward, let us carry with us the knowledge that strength does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Let us be inspired by the silent warriors among us, drawing from their stories the courage to face our own battles with quiet determination. And let us never underestimate the power of silence, for within it lies the potential to inspire, to heal, and to transform. Section 3, the ripple effect of sharing your story. Embarking on this journey together, we've witnessed the profound impact of overlooked stories and the indomitable strength found in silence. Now let us turn our attention to the transformative power of sharing your story, to the ripple effect that emerges the moment your voice finds its way into the open air. Imagine for a moment the courage it takes to step into the light, to share a piece of your soul with the world. It's an act of bravery, of vulnerability that transcends boundaries. But why does sharing our story matter? In the tapestry of human experience, each narrative thread is vital, adding depth, color, and texture to the collective whole. When one person dares to share their journey, it does more than just echo in the void. It creates a ripple, a wave of resonance that reaches far beyond their immediate surroundings. This ripple has the power to inspire, to heal, to galvanize. It becomes a beacon for others, guiding them through their own darkness, showing them they are not alone. Consider the monumental shifts that have occurred when individuals bravely shared their truths. Movements have been sparked by a single story, societies transformed by the collective power of many. These stories, once locked away in the recesses of personal struggle, become the keys to unlocking empathy, understanding, and action within our communities. They remind us of our shared humanity, of the struggles and triumphs that bind us together. The act of sharing your story is also a journey of self-discovery. It's a process that invites introspection, healing, and growth. As you articulate your experiences, you not only give voice to your own narrative, but also reclaim your power, your agency. You transform your story from one of silence to one of significance, becoming an active participant in shaping how your journey is understood and remembered. But what of the ripple effect? How does this act of sharing extend beyond the personal to touch the lives of others? It's in the moments of connection, in the realization that your story has found a place in someone else's heart. It's the understanding that your experiences, your voice, can be a catalyst for change, for empathy, for solidarity. This ripple effect is not confined by time or space. It travels, touching lives in ways you may never fully know. So I encourage you, dear listener, to consider the stories you carry within you. Reflect on the journey you've traversed, the battles you've faced, the mountains you've climbed. Know that your story holds power, a potential that begs to be shared. And when you're ready, take that leap. Share your truth with the world and watch as the ripples extend outward, creating waves of change, understanding, and connection. As we look to the horizon, let us do so with the knowledge that our stories are the bridges between us, the threads that weave the fabric of our collective existence. Let us embrace the ripple effect of sharing our stories, recognizing the immense power it holds to unite, inspire, and transform. Section 4, cultivating a culture of listening and empathy in the symphony of life, where each of us carries a melody of experiences, dreams, and challenges. There emerges a profound truth. The power of our stories is fully realized only when we have others who listen, who truly hear what we're saying. This journey we've embarked upon through the power of unheard voices, the resilience in silence, and the transformative ripple of sharing our story leads us inevitably to the heart of what connects us all, the cultivation of a culture of listening and empathy. But what does it mean to cultivate such a culture? It's more than merely hearing the words spoken by another. It's about understanding the weight they carry, the emotions they stir, and the experiences they convey. To listen with empathy is to bridge the gap between souls, to acknowledge another's reality as valid and significant as your own. It's a practice that requires patience, openness, and above all, a willingness to be moved and changed by what we hear. Imagine a world where every voice, no matter how faint, is met with an eager ear, where every story, no matter how seemingly ordinary, is treasured as a piece of the grand mosaic of human existence. In this world, empathy is the compass that guides our interactions, a tool so powerful it can transform misunderstandings into connections, conflict into collaboration, and strangers into allies. It's a world where we recognize that beneath the surface of our diverse experiences lies a common thread of humanity that binds us together. Cultivating such a culture starts with us, with the choices we make every day. It begins with the decision to approach conversations with curiosity rather than judgment, to ask questions that invite deeper sharing, and to offer our presence as a gift without expectation of return. It's about creating spaces in our homes, workplaces, and communities where vulnerability is met with compassion and where sharing one's truth is celebrated as an act of courage. But how do we navigate the challenges that arise in this endeavor? How do we foster empathy in a world that often prioritizes efficiency over connection, where digital interactions can overshadow face-to-face conversations? The key lies in intentional practice, in making the effort to connect in meaningful ways, to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts, and to reflect back the understanding we've gained. It involves educating ourselves and others about the power of empathy, about the ways it can be nurtured and expressed, and the incredible impact it can have on our lives and the world at large. As we journey forward, let us commit to being architects of this culture of listening and empathy. Let us model the behaviors we wish to see, championing the causes of understanding and compassion in every sphere of our lives. Let us celebrate the stories shared with us, recognizing them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to connect on a deeper level. And so, dear friends, as we stand on the threshold of possibility, let us take a collective step into a future where every story is heard, where every voice matters, and where empathy guides our way. Together, let us weave a tapestry of connection that spans the globe, a testament to the power of listening, understanding, and caring for one another. In doing so, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a world where compassion reigns supreme, where the bonds of humanity are strengthened by every story shared, every moment of connection. Throughout our shared journey today, We've ventured through the realms of unheard voices, navigated the strength found in silence, marveled at the transformative power of sharing our stories, and envisioned a world enriched by empathy and understanding. Each step has brought us closer to the core of our collective humanity, to the undeniable truth that our stories are the very essence of who we are and the bridge that connects us all. Now, as we stand at this juncture, the path before us is clear. It beckons us forward, not as mere travelers, but as pioneers of a world where every voice is valued, where every story is heard, and where empathy lights the way. This is our call to action, a summons to each and every one of us to take up the mantle of change, to become custodians of a future we long to see. So what does this mean for you? It means embracing the stories within you, recognizing their power not only to heal and uplift yourself, but also to inspire and connect with others. It means becoming an active listener, one who seeks to understand before being understood, who approaches every conversation with an open heart and open mind. It means advocating for spaces where stories from all walks of life are welcomed and honored, where diversity is not just acknowledged but celebrated. But beyond the individual, our call to action is a collective one. It challenges us to build communities where empathy is the foundation, where differences are bridged by the shared experience of our humanity. It invites us to use our platforms, whatever they may be, to amplify the voices that go unheard, to shine a light on the stories that illuminate the richness of our human tapestry. This journey we've embarked upon doesn't end here. It's an ongoing voyage of discovery, understanding, and connection. It's a commitment to living intentionally, to being the change we wish to see, and to fostering a world where every story finds its place in the sun. So as we part ways, let us carry forward the lessons learned, the inspiration gleaned, and the connections made. Let us step into tomorrow with the conviction that our voices matter, that our stories have the power to transform, and that together we can create ripples of change that turn into waves of progress. Remember, the world needs your story, your voice, your unique light. Share it bravely, listen generously, and move through the world with empathy and love. In doing so, we not only uplift ourselves, but elevate humanity as a whole.